Welcome everyone to another episode of Football Armchair Experts, where we pretend to know everything but actually we know nothing. In the company of Liverpool fan Imran, Chelsea fan Robin, I myself Mark, I'm a Fulham fan. As we said last week, Burnley interim manager Michael Jackson, that relegation fight was going to be a thriller. Everton's 1-0 win over Chelsea, of course, with Richarlison throwing a firework into the crowd. Chelsea left feeling like a plastic bag drifting through the wind, wanting to start again. Wonder which song that is. But in terms of, I guess we can start with Robin. Surprised with Chelsea's defeat to Everton?
Quite surprised lah, but there was always the sneaky feeling that it could have happened. Chelsea haven't been very, very solid. The performances over the past few weeks have been indicating that a shock result like that might happen. And somehow Lampard's Everton turned up lah, annoyingly so, against Chelsea. I mean, it's written, right? It's a freaking story that's written already. So
purposely give
a bit
chance.
kelong. Yeah, very kelong the feeling.
But do you watch the game though?
No, I was out. Lucky I never watched. I'll be so pissed.
But
it's
I mean,
like bittersweet, no?
Yeah, because like you're going for, obviously you'll be cheering Frank Lampard on. You won't want him to have relegation on his CV also.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't watch the game, but watched a bit of the highlights, and I guess have to pick out Jordan Pickford also with two really, really good saves. I guess maybe you can say season saving saves for Everton. And I guess, with their batting performance last week against Liverpool, they sort of followed that up with another similar type of performance against Chelsea. The Everton fans also doing their part, the day before they were setting off fireworks outside the Chelsea team's hotel, all that kind of thing. The crowd really got going as well. It's really like the 12-man counting. So maybe, who knows, the fact that they are a big club, maybe they might actually save themselves this time. The game I did watch though was Burnley's comeback win over Watford. Don't ask me why I chose that game. I until now still not sure why.
Exciting,
I wouldn't say exciting, but the fact that Burnley had 2 goals in the last 10 minutes was pretty exciting, and the momentum shift was quite big. Like Watford were basically, after they scored, they just sat back the whole time, hoping that Burnley would just not continue to not play well and all that, and Burnley weren't playing well. Second half they sort of turned up a little bit more, but didn't have a lot of clear-cut chances also until towards the end when Burnley scored through a set piece. Of course, it's Burnley. Then eventually they kept pushing it. They got the second goal, so that means of course Burnley are now 16th in the table. Heady heights for them. Yeah, but that also means that they dragged Leeds United into the relegation fight. We all thought that maybe they were safe. And they've been on a pretty good run, but in the end, they've not getting enough wins to distance themselves. With Burnley's positive momentum, 3 wins, 1 draw in the last 5. Do you think maybe Burnley are now favourites to stay up amongst the 3?
I mean, I wanted to say yes, but Everton but the fact that Everton won Chelsea, I think that's quite a big result. Because that's like nobody would have expected it, right? So even the most positive fans, I think, would have been going for a draw for that game. And with a draw, right, they'll be at 30 points now, and which is like a lot behind Burnley. But now that they're just 3 points behind, 2 points behind, it's like 1 more win for them, and they are on top of the other 2 teams. So I think Everton, are ahead after this week, after they win Chelsea.
Norwich getting relegated, not a surprise. It's the 6th time now.
Nah, Norwich, no one really cares about them. We're not surprised whoever's in charge. Probably going to rely on Timo Pukki if he still stays there to bring them back up to the Premier League, which is then boring because they are forever the yo-yo team.
Robin, do you think, looking at the run-in, Everton do have their destiny in their own hands, but would you say that, because Everton, I think their last day is against Arsenal, so maybe there is still a chance that Everton may still go down.
It could be so tight that it comes down to goal difference between them and Burnley. But I guess the favourite to go down is probably Leeds, though. I would feel like Leeds probably will go down based on their poor defence. But Everton's fixture, I think their worry is that they will play Leicester, who is you never know which Leicester going to turn up. Of course, the last day is Arsenal, but I think these 2 are big games that are quite tough. But I can foresee maybe Everton optimistic outcome from their remaining games. Maybe they win 3, they get 9 points. But Burnley's games looks a little easier, and they seem to have found some sort of team spirit and unity upon the sacking. So somehow they don't play well, but they are kind of like the old Burnley, right? Still grinding out results. So they might survive, which is going to be annoying to all of us. But you will treat it as Everton shopping spree. you can buy players on sale.
We'll start, of course, with the predictions for these three teams. Why not let's start with Leeds? With their two bigger games. Leeds are away to Arsenal and then at home to Chelsea. I have to ask Robin, do you see them getting any points from these two games?
0, man, from these two. I think they won't win either of these. If they want to have hope, right, it's only against Chelsea, maybe. Charity FC turns up again. But I don't think so, lah. So that's why I think Leeds, their outlook is very, very bad.
Who knows? Maybe against a smaller team, Arsenal can find it within themselves to slip up again.
No lah. I think especially against Leeds, who hasn't been doing very well. I think Leeds just gonna get smashed. It's like Arsenal 3-1, Chelsea maybe 2-1.
I think Arsenal will win 3-0, then Chelsea to win 2-0.
I think Leeds will put out a bit more of a fight. It won't be thrashing. Yeah, Arsenal to win 2-1, Chelsea to win 1-0. Everton away to Leicester and away to Watford. Everton, of course, has been pretty poor on the road. Only got 6 points away from home this season.
Sad to say, but I have a feeling Leicester will win. But it'll be a very narrow one. So I think it'll be 1-0 Leicester. Then Everton to beat Watford after that. So probably a 2-1 Everton.
Actually, I'm not sure about Leicester's form. I think it's actually pretty bad.
It's been it's like only 1 win in the last 5 games.
I guess maybe they're also a bit concentrating on Europe. So,
Are they still in?
The Conference League. They're against Roma.
Oh yeah, they drew 1-1 before that. What happens if you win the Conference League? You make it to Europa League.
I think so.
Should be.
That makes the most sense. I don't know. Probably. I'm going to go Leicester 1-0. Everton surely must be able to beat Watford. Watford on a 11-game losing streak at home. 2-0.
I think it'll be a Leicester-Everton draw actually. 0-0.
Okay.
And then they're going to win Watford 1-0.
Let's say Leicester finish bottom half of the table and they go on to win Conference League. Is it a good season?
If it's Europa League, then yes. Conference League, I don't know. Conference League, I don't know
how to measure, right?
Yeah. It's like the trashier version of what West Ham's doing, basically.
Correct, yeah.
And West Ham can still make it to top 6, is it?
Well, we'll see if they make top 6, but yeah, they're 7 now, I think.
Yeah, I think it's not enough for a club of Leicester size. It's like they were pushing for top 4, and then now they are like bottom half of the league, and then one random trophy that nobody wants. I don't know. I mean, okay, I guess if they win it, then it's like equivalent to them being in the top 6. So if they win it, then it sort of redeems their season. But it's not over or underachieving. It's like where they're supposed to be.
That wraps up the relegation fight for now. Yeah, I think that would probably relegate Watford as well to join Norwich. No surprises there. I guess we'll go to the title race next. We mentioned Leeds because they lost 4-0 to Manchester City last time out. Liverpool won 1-0 away to Newcastle. This week, Man City will be the ones taking on Newcastle, but it's at home. And Liverpool, of course, got the biggest clash of the weekend. It's Liverpool against Antonio Conte's Spurs, who last time out beat Leicester 3-1. Have to ask even like anything in Spurs' recent form getting you a bit worried that it is at Anfield, so getting you a bit worried that possibly Liverpool might not get the 3 points here.
I mean, obviously there will be worries because it's like the last sort of biggest obstacle left for us, and Spurs, like the games have always been quite challenging, the right word, but they're always up for a challenge against Liverpool. I mean, we have even met in the Champions League finals, right? So there's also some sort of history there, but at this point, I don't know. I feel like at this point, who we play don't matter. We just have to win every game.
Correct. Of course, that of course.
Yeah.
You have to win every game.
So I have to be confident that Liverpool are gonna win it, If not,
okay.
So what's the point in anything left?
Okay.
At this point, we are like, we're gonna go for everything, right? So you have to win every game, and I think we can definitely do that against Spurs. Their form also a bit up and down this season. It's a risky game, but I don't see Liverpool dropping points here.
Okay. You're right in the fact that it's a boom or bust for Spurs. In the last 16 games, Spurs have either scored no goals or they scored 2 or more goals. So, but within this period of time, the 16 games have actually been top scorers in the Premier League.
Yeah, I think Spurs is always a potential banana skin, but I feel like their performances, the ones where they score a lot and look good again, is usually against the really scrubs, like really poorer teams. Then they'll suddenly come out with a 0-0 against Brentford, or they lose against Man U, that kind of funny result. So I think this one should be a pretty good win for Liverpool. I think it'll be quite a strong performance from Liverpool, but maybe not higher scoring, considering it's still Antonio Conte. But yeah, I think Liverpool have enough mentally and physically to overcome Spurs. So I think it is potential banana skin, but Liverpool should win.
Liverpool have been very impressive in terms of their mentality. I guess maybe, this is talking a little bit about the Champions League, but of course they went 2-0 behind to Villarreal. It was a surprise in itself. A lot of people thought, Villarreal, whatever, doesn't matter. But, they did tie the aggregate score at one point. And I guess maybe you have to ask, Imran, do you think that maybe the Villarreal result was a good wake-up call in that sense? I don't know if you thought that maybe this would play into the Premier League title race at all.
I don't think it's a wake-up call. I think it's more of proving how strong we are to be able to come back in like the second half. If not, I mean, when you compare the result to the Man City's one, then it's like, then you see that maybe that's where we will have a slight advantage going into the rest of the season.
Mhm.
I think this week will be quite crucial for Man City actually. It's like you see whether the players like crumble or what. Because if they lose again this weekend, then it's like their season's like over already. So the fact that Liverpool, like, we managed to survive like the onslaught from Villarreal at the start, and then managed to come back into the game, and then managed to defeat them and score 3 goals in the second half, I think it shows a lot about the mentality, which is why I'm quite confident that Liverpool can see this challenge out also from Spurs, even if Spurs came at us as hard as Villarreal did, which I would assume is already very hard because they're literally fighting for Champions League finals.
Yeah,
So,
I guess maybe you can sort of compare the two. Yeah, this Villarreal and Spurs do play in a little bit of a similar kind of format. They do both primarily do counter attack, and I think Spurs will definitely do that. Liverpool sort of do play into their hands a little bit, but Liverpool only do play one way. So I think it'll be an interesting game also. But yeah, I agree with England. I think Liverpool, well, the players at least will know what's at stake. They know that they have to win every game. Yeah, so I think I'll go high scoring for this. I'll go Liverpool 3-2 against Spurs. Robin.
No, I'll go a narrower margin. I think I'll just go 1-0.
I think I will go for 3-1 Liverpool.
We've already mentioned them. Man City, of course, got knocked out by Real Madrid in the Champions League semi-final. I guess same sort of question. Do you think how do you think this will affect Man City in terms of their title running? Do you think this will motivate them more, knowing that this is feasibly the only trophy? Well, it is the only trophy that they have left.
I think they should be alright lah. I think they should be able to be professional enough to see this through. If anything, their version of a wake-up call was a bit more extreme lah. They lost the whole tie versus losing just one half. But I think more concerning is how Pep reacts to this lah. He seemed a bit up to his own madness again. The moment, who was it? Rodrigo scored. Like he looked very, very animated. Like he had no more ideas really. His team just cannot score. Then what the hell? It's really an unexplainable loss. So I'm not sure how Pep will react to this. Whether he start to big brain and then mess it up. I trust that he shouldn't lah, but you never know. Man City quite interesting.
Okay. In terms of the messing it up, I think this is quite mixed. Like, do you think it was a case of Pep messing it up though? I think personally, I think that's a bit harsh. I don't see how he could have changed it in like 90th, 91st minute. This kind of thing is totally on your team to go and see out the game. Like what can he do? He's already made all his subs. So and I don't think you can really blame like, oh, he could have made more attacking subs because they're already up on aggregate. You won't go and continue attacking the last few minutes of injury time or so.
Yeah, and
his team just didn't convert.
Actually were dominating the game quite well because I think the stat was that before Rodrigo's goal, like Real Madrid have 0 shots on target.
Yeah.
So basically it's like they got 0 shots on target. Like what more can you do, right? I think these are the sort of things where it's like inexplicable. Like some moment of magic, then boom, 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 got 2 goals and nobody know what happened. So I think this kind of thing very hard to, like, you won't factor that into the game plan. You execute the game plan perfectly, right? Then it just so happens in the final minute, like this kind of like moment of madness happens. Then you have like 2 goals out of nowhere. Then nobody knows what the hell is going on. I think they were just unlucky to have to go through that.
Man City at home against Newcastle, away to Wolves. Who I guess normally you would say Wolves is a tough game, but Wolves have been shit the last few weeks. So, but unfortunately, I don't think you can really pin much hope on that. If it was the Wolves or maybe earlier in the season, you could. But I think they've lost recently 3-0 to Brighton, amongst other poor results also.
Yeah, I actually see Newcastle as a banana skin. Because like you said, you can't really bang on Wolves already. And then the way Newcastle played against Liverpool last week, even though I didn't watch it, it was only 1-0, right? So it's not that bad result for them.
Mhm.
So if they played like the same way, a team that is like not as strong as Liverpool, like the other team may have slipped up lah. So I think in this case, I would say Liverpool is stronger than Man City, and then especially after this particular weekend, right? Like, I feel like maybe I don't know. I can go two ways. Either the players are like more focused about the Premier League, and then they're like back with a vengeance type, or they sort of just them sian me, right? And to them, it's like okay, like, the Premier League is like secondary, right? They really want to win the Champions League, but like now that their main goal is over, maybe they'll be thinking like, what's the point of like anything? So you just win another Premier League. It's like, what's the point to them? So I see it coming to a draw actually. I think 1-1. Wolves, I think easy win for Man City. Probably 3-0.
Okay, I think Man City will be like a wounded animal, that kind of effect. They'll just go all out and try to trash everyone else now, since it is all or nothing. So I think Newcastle didn't play that well. I think they were lucky to get away with just 1-0. Liverpool were much better and should have scored a few more. So I think Man City would break Newcastle down eventually. I'll go for both scores to be 3-0.
I think the longer the game goes without Man City scoring a goal, I think that's when possibly we'll be looking at, some of the players starting to doubt themselves. So I guess it really depends on that. But I think Newcastle do have a penchant for leaking early goals against Man City. So I think it won't be much of an issue here. Man City win 2-0 against Newcastle. I say Man City win 1-0 against Wolves. I guess for England, this is a weekend that he will be looking out for Man City to slip up. But for us, we are thinking that it will be the title race continuing into match week 37 with pretty much the same status quo. In terms of the top 4 race, that's something that could potentially change this week. Spurs, of course, we already predicted that they'll be losing to Liverpool. So the question is, can Arsenal pull ahead? I guess most of us do think that Arsenal will be beating Leeds. So maybe the top 4 race might be settled earlier than the Arsenal versus Spurs game that's coming up. I think we'll do that next week instead, because otherwise this episode will be too long. Liverpool have already got the Carabao Cup, so that aside, how many more trophies are Liverpool going to win this season?
Wow, that's tough. Oh, I'll say one more. I think they'll win the Champions League.
Okay, not okay. What am I doing? Of course, you will say.
I cannot say FA Cup, man.
So there's no true neutral here, lah. Okay.
Yeah.
You lor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mark was like thinking, wait, why they win a Champions League easier than winning FA Cup?
Yeah, that was like, oh, okay, yeah, God, sorry.
Give us lah. Let us win something more.
Although
League maybe can, I don't know.
League.
Yeah, but you need Man City to slip out somewhere, lor.
Right, yeah.
They might sleep against West Ham, or that's where I think they might sleep next week.
West Ham hasn't been doing well.
That's why hope for the best.
That's why I'm hoping for Newcastle. Newcastle is the most informed team really. they're gonna be up against. Even a draw will do, Like
we would never say that in the start of the season. Newcastle is the informed team.
Yeah. Thinking about it, I think actually it's possible for Liverpool to win the Champions League final. I see that more likely also than them winning the FA Cup in a way. Because
FA Cup, you never know.
I don't know. Are we like really underestimating Real Madrid? Like each time they come up against a team that we think we don't think Real Madrid's midfield can do it. But it seems like they can always somehow pull a result out. I don't know. Too many results that they've managed to magic themselves out of trouble. Yeah, but
now they only have one leg.
Correct. They only have a one leg. I think that is the crucial thing. I think Liverpool will win the Champions League. I won't say I'm confident, but I think that will happen. FA Cup.
Yeah.
I think they will win the Champions League and FA Cup, but I think they'll lose the Premier League. Well, I won't say lose the Premier League, but Man City won't slip up in the Premier League. So still 3 trophies is pretty good. Especially Champions League is the biggest trophy also on offer. So yeah, I would say Liverpool have been the most impressive this season. Yeah, I think it's been a very good second half of the season from Liverpool. The signings have been good also. Well, signing in the winter transfer window has been very good. Luis Diaz. So yeah, I think they played it very well in the second half. And if they end up losing to Man City in the Premier League, you can't really say that they've not done their most to try and turn the tide. But maybe too late. Their first half wasn't good enough. But yeah, in terms of the championship, not much to mention. Fulham will clinch the
champions
title. Yes, Championes. Yeah, we got different type of Championes. Yeah, we have a 7-0 win over Luton. Actually, I wasn't sure whether I want to stay up for that. I'm glad I did. Yeah, it's not as if Luton didn't have anything to play for. They are still currently in the playoff positions, but after we took a lot of their goal difference from them, I don't think they'll make their playoffs. They might lose it on goal difference. So we'll
That's
see.
a bad way to lose it. It's like 7-0
Yeah.
some more. Wow. Yeah. When I saw what you were posting on Insta, I thought they were like a relegation team or something. Like, why you got 7-0 one? What the hell?
Yeah, there are 6 in the table now. I think they were initially 5th lah, but from the 7 goals they considered, it dropped to 6-1 goal difference. And now the 7 and 8 team are now have a bigger goal difference than them also. So it will all be down on the final day for the championship. Bournemouth are up, unfortunately. So we'll have guaranteed one small team in the Premier League already. Nottingham Forest lost them in midweek, so they'll be in the playoffs with Huddersfield.
Huddersfield again.
Huddersfield again, yeah. Huddersfield, interestingly, their manager is Marcelo Bielsa's assistant at Leeds, Carlos Corberan. So who knows, maybe similar type of playing style and all that, bringing if they were to come up to the Premier League. Yeah, the remaining 2 spots in the playoffs will still be decided on the last weekend. So it might be either Sheffield United, Manjun's favourite club, Luton, Middlesbrough, and Millwall. In terms of Fulham, I don't think there's a record we can break anymore. We've got 106 goals already. The next aim is to get the most number of goals in a championship season. That was Man City in 2002. They've got 108. So who knows?
Okay,
that's
a record.
Another 7. Another 7.
Yeah, 7. Mitrovic, most goals for single player, 43 already. He's got more than Bansky,
Wow.
Howe, and Peterborough. So
Damn sick.
the previous record I think was 32 so it's way
so
past
it's
the record.
easily way past. And feels like it's like the Messi of the Champions League.
We'll see if he comes up in the Premier League, and I don't know. Last few times he came out to the Premier League disappointed. We'll see. Maybe he's like, his peak now. He's like 26 or 27. So maybe the time is right for him to become a Premier League striker already. I guess I have to mention Carlo Ancelotti completing the Grand Slam. One title in all top 5 leagues in Europe.
Which are the 5?
England, Spain,
Italy,
Germany, France.
Okay. He was at Bayern.
Yeah, he's at Bayern.
Mm-hmm.
I think for like two seasons.
Yeah, feels like he stays everywhere for like 2 seasons, then win a bit, then leave, then win the league, then leave. Yeah, that's why I don't know why he go to Everton. It's like the weirdest shit ever.
That was a weird, yeah.
Is it like he want to give himself a challenge? Like, maybe I should start going to like the top clubs in like all the leagues, right?
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe he did a lot better than we thought last year. We thought he finished was it 9th or something? Then we thought nothing much. But clearly, how they're struggling right now, maybe it was a better job than we thought.
Yeah, I feel he a bit underrated. Like no one really talks about him when people talk about managers. Is it because he didn't? I want to say, is it because he didn't win a lot? But no, he win everywhere he goes.
I think it's because he's a very nice guy.
Does that count against you if you're nice? I don't know. But I think it's just that he's not like bombastic in interviews. He doesn't have like a fixed philosophy kind of thing. So
quite mellow.
Yeah. And I feel his longevity worked against him. It's like he didn't win like a lot in like a short span, right? It's like over a long career, he's just like winning. He won like one title here and there. But then after that, it's like you add up everything, it's like, actually it's in all the leagues.
That's true.
Whereas you compare to like Mourinho or Pep, it's like in that short period they like win a lot. Then after that, never win anything really, for Mourinho. But you will remember that golden period with Chelsea and Inter and like Real Madrid.
That's true. Yeah, I don't think he has a. I guess maybe you cannot attach him to a certain era of dominance for a certain team.
Although you say that, but the time his AC Milan squad was supposedly quite strong.
That's true.
Yeah, his AC quite stacked.
Yeah, just that after that they just known for collapsing in Istanbul, then that's it really. Like
although they did win the
legacy.
Champions League the following season.
They did but nobody remembers that. Everybody only remembers how they lost it.
Although is this more of a Liverpool fan thing, like telling people, hey, that was the best Champions League win, whatever kind of thing.
I mean, I'm not saying it's the best Champions League win, but I'm saying like, okay, maybe it's from a Liverpool lens, but when I think about his like career, then it's like that's the moment you'll think about when he was in the AC Milan team. Like, what's the highlight that happened? For a Liverpool fan, obviously it's the Champions League finals. For you, I don't know.
I don't know if you were watching routinely enough at that time. That was 2006, 2005. Yeah, but I think because at that time I only watched Premier League, I wasn't into Champions League, this kind of games yet. So watching a game live is going to stick in your mind more than something you just hear of.
Yeah.
So maybe just a bit before our time. Yeah. And maybe you're not wrong, Ancelotti being around for this long. I think it's been 20 years maybe. Yeah, may also count against him because Yeah,
Although Mourinho also going to be 20 years soon.
that's true.
I think maybe because he also haven't been in England for as long, like the EPL. Then because we watch all the EPL stuff and all the pundits are mostly EPL focused. And even when AC Milan lost against Liverpool, it's like people talk about it more because it's against an English club. Yeah, maybe he's like more popular outside. In like, or maybe because he never stayed long enough in each country to make a big impact. Like you said, like no era. It's like when he go to Bayern was already so tight, then he just win a couple of titles there, like nobody really.
Yeah, plus he go to quite big teams lah, so it's like always favourites.
Right.
Although you say that, I mean, it's never a guaranteed title or this kind of thing also.
Yeah. Like, I mean, yeah, and plus, I mean, that's Pep also, essentially.
But you cannot really say that, then he should take a smaller team and then see if he can do well, because that doesn't necessarily mean
That doesn't make sense,
you're a good manager, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just different style lor. He can manage egos quite well.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, lor, but that's, don't know, feels a bit like that's what he does. Like no style, he just friend with the player, then the players play for him, and that's it.
So are you saying he's just a more successful, more hype version of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer?
Oh.
Let's not.
No. The difference is at least he has his basics down, so like the players all generally know how to play football or like what to do in the game. But like you say, he has no like defined style. He just see what players he has and then play to their strengths.
Although I think previously, when we were maybe like 10 years ago or something, I think a lot of managers do that. Like they go into a club, see what kind of players they have, then they adapt to the players that they have. Whereas now I think it's more the managers have a set style. Okay, I'm going in now, I want to have this kind of style of play. I'm going to bring in the players to make it happen. So once again, thank you for watching the episode all the way through. Hopefully you've enjoyed our review of our preview of Match Week 36. So see you again next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.